Polygyny is a topic that is often met with lots of, mixed emotions. The word polygyny alone might already bring up images and stories that a lot of us have heard, which are mostly negative. It's quite unfortunate that a lot of people abuse this remedial system. I call it remedial system because whether we like it or not, polygyny in its right practices, in its appropriate practices done well, remedies certain situations that humans face, especially social and even emotional issues. And the thing is, whether we like it or not, the reality is that all women will not be first wives. All of us will not be first and only wives. All of us won't even be married at all. There are some women who would never be married. This is life reality. There are some who were first wives before, and because of certain circumstances or situations that befell them, many didn't even see it coming. They later had to become subsequent wives. Our utmost prayer is that whatever it is that Allah has decreed for us, may it favor us and may we find it bearable. May it not be a test beyond us. Because whether polygynous or monogamous marriage, there will be struggles, there will be issues. There are certain people who would thrive better, who would live better, who would fare better as a second, third, or fourth wife to a man who is responsible, knows how to value and treat women right, than being a first or even only wife to a man who is highly irresponsible. So at the end of the day, it's not in the number of wife, the position, but really the dynamics of the situation you are in. Now that we know this, what are these destroyers of polygyny? What are these things that set a polygynous home for disaster, leading to the high number of negative polygynous stories that we hear? Number one, the mindset of the people involved. Very important. The mindset of the people involved. If your mindset towards polygyny is very negative, it's not likely that something positive will come out of polygyny for you. If you are a first wife and your mentality, your mindset is that polygyny is another form of cheating on your wife, then you would have issues with polygyny. No, it's not. It's very far from it, more like light and darkness. There is no way you're going to settle with that kind of arrangement. You may remain in that marriage, but you're not going to find, comfort. You're not going to find peace with yourself. Why? Because of that particular mindset that, oh, this man is cheating on me. Yes, women naturally we are very jealous. I am very jealous. I mean, of my man. Yes. Hey, on the path of the man, a man whose mindset towards polygyny is similar to that of replacement of wife. You cannot have a healthy polygynous home. If you are a man who think that polygyny is a correctional center, is a correctional approach against your wife, you cannot have a healthy polygyny because no woman would be happy that you fault her, you find fault in her, and because of the fault you have found in her, you are taking another wife. There is no way she's going to be happy. Polygyny would have hurt her, but it's even going to hurt her more now because of your mindset towards it. If you are also a man with the mindset that polygyny is a game, it's a game where the more the merrier for your own selfish benefits. You can't have a healthy polygynous home because that is not what polygyny is. Polygyny is not a game where the women there are the pawns, and you can play the game, play the chess however you like with them. No, if this is your mindset, you can't get it right. Now, if you're also a subsequent wife, I think we focus too much on second wives as if the third and fourth are not subsequent. If you're also a subsequent wife with the mindset of coming to take, not to share, or coming as a correctional means, because some people, some women think that they are the saving grace of a marriage. Now, if this is your mindset, you cannot have a healthy polygynous, home. The second thing that creates chaos in polygyny is something a lot of us don't even take note of, and this is on the man. The way the man went about that marriage, the way the man went about that, process with the subsequent wife. Majority of women definitely are not happy that you're bringing another wife. I'm not sure I'm going to be all smiley and dancing and happy if my man wants to. But there is something that is going to cause even more hurt, and your first wife or subsequent, current wives, if you have to, maybe the third, there is something that would not make them, give you the support that that home needs to thrive. The way you go about marrying the subsequent wife. If you are a kind of man who starts polygyny with cheating, you start polygyny with haram, you start polygyny in ways that you had already broken your existing wife, you had already broken her emotionally and psychologically. And then you think that when you now go ahead to bring that wife, is all going to be goody goody and all fun and banter. No, it's not going to be. A lot of people's, resentments towards their co-wives or their husband today was built even before the marriage took place because of how these people went about it. Because should the first wife or the existing wives find out about the illegal or the haram way you people have started the affair, that has already formed a very weak foundation for that home. And you'll be amazed that this is not something she will come back from very quickly. The third factor is empathy, lack of empathy. Because normally, even if you have the mindset of my man, my own, you have the mindset of, oh, I'm going there as his favorite wife. He's been married before, she's not enough, that's why he's coming for me. Assuming this was even your original mindset. Or you as a man also feel why you're marrying another wife is because you want to use her to pepper your first wife. But if you all have empathy, when that polygyny has happened, you would now be more considerate of one another. The highest form of love is consideration. You would now be considerate of one another. Not that you are happy or you are now totally accepting of the situation you are in, but because this is another human at the other end, so you are able to put yourself in her shoes. Oh, this could have been me. Anybody can be a subsequent wife. You can be a first wife only to become a subsequent wife later. You can be a subsequent wife only to become a first wife later, and then your man is marrying another wife upon you. It's going to be painful. So that is where empathy comes in. If we are all empathetical, this does not in any way take your emotions or your right to feel bad about something or to be jealous. No, it's just that you would be able to still not be so against that person that you wish them bad, or that you see something wrong being done against them, you see injustice against them, and you're quiet. I would have said this point as fear of Allah, but I know that not everyone who even goes into polygyny has correct understanding of the deen or fears Allah. They just like that aspect of marry more wives. So that is why I made it about empathy. So that is why I'm not even making it fear of Allah, because if you actually have fear of Allah in you, all of these things that I'm mentioning will naturally come to you. There are even some times that these Muslim men marry their first wife as a Muslim, the second wife is a non-Muslim. So if you say fear of Allah, where is that going to come from? That is why I chose the word empathy. The fourth destroyer of polygyny is external interference. There are some first wives that would have made amazing first wife and be more welcome, even though they're hurt of their, incoming wives. But because of what they've heard, oh, don't lose guard, don't be too this and that. If not, she's coming to take over the home. She's coming to do this and that to you. We are humans. When you hear these things too much, it starts to make sense to you. You start to internalize it, and before you know, you start to act on it. If you are also a second wife, and after marriage you notice, or of course it's very likely this is what will happen, your first wife, the first wife, your co-wife is still transitioning. So she's still not at that space of, oh, yummy yummy, oh, yeah, yeah, she's not yet at that stage. You should be very understanding. And maybe you are that kind of second wife or third or fourth wife who is understanding that, oh, this women or this woman that I'm meeting has every right to feel the way she's feeling. Let me give her time. You may be that kind of person. But then you have people telling you, don't lose guard. Don't make her feel because you are a wife and she's a wife. She is not any better than you. They just married her before you. They fill your head. They fill your head with these things. And then you start to act up. You start to demand for things that, yes, they are your rights, but you can actually just let it be for now. I'm not saying forever, but for now. She's transitioning. You can be understanding of that fact. But I don't mean transitioning at your own expense or detriment, no. But I mean certain things that would happen because she's transitioning. And the fifth, the last but not the least, is the incapacity of the man. This should have been number one because this is the condition for which polygyny was made permissible for men. Allah gave the condition of justice. And this justice comes in time and resources. For feelings, you can't account for that because it's not in your control. So definitely you have a favorite wife, definitely. However, he placed justice on other things like maintenance and protection. But you as a man know that when it comes to justice, you would not be able to maintain justice between more than one woman. Yet you went ahead. And then you start coming with excuses. Oh, she's not this one chained towards me. She's not. The prophet's wives had their moments, but that never stopped the prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam from being just. So if you know you are not strong emotionally, psychologically, financially, sexually, physically, spiritually strong to take on more than a wife, please don't bother. Because that incapacity has caused a lot of troubles in a home. It hurts so much that polygyny that has been put in place to solve issues is actually now a problem giver based on the wrong practices of those involved. Polygyny is not a commandment, it's just a permission. If you know that you are not fit for polygyny, please don't go near it. Please don't. Don't add to the number of negative polygynous homes, chaotic polygynous homes that we have. May Allah bless our homes, and regardless of His qadar, His decree for us, may it be beneficial, may it be favorable, and may we never be tested greater than we can bear. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.